Today we're talking about snails, not circles, and it's um, an example slash symbol that my mentors gave me. Um, man, maybe I was in grad school. Like it was a long time ago. You see the gray hairs, so it was a long time ago. I might have even been a teenager. When we're in certain situations, we feel like we're living Groundhog's Day. It just keeps repeating. It keeps showing up. It's like, oh crap, how did I get into this situation again? Or I thought this was done and it's not done, and I'm tired of it. That can feel like, going in circles and just repeating the same thing over and over again. And as you get older and or as time passes, it's like, why do I feel like I'm making the same mistakes? There are two truths that kind of come about with that, as we kind of feel that frustration. When it comes to an actual circle, and if I can grab a pen, I can draw a circle for you. When it comes to a circle, this is what we feel, right? Sorry for my circle. The artistic genes went to other people in the family. Shout out to my dad. But do you see that? That's a circle. So we're doing the same thing over and over again. That means we're not growing. That means we're frustrated. That means we're dealing with the same stuff. That's a circle. But if you're familiar with a snail, it's almost like a cornucopia. In fact, it is a cornucopia. I'm originally from Atlantic City. Shout out to AC. And so I know the sea well. I grew up with the sea. Um, and so you're seeing the water, you're seeing the flow, you're seeing these symbols, these infinite things. And that's what you have here. That is a snail shell. If you happen to see snails outside, I don't know what their season is, but that's what their shell looks like. And you notice, if this is where you begin, and you go back here, suddenly it feels like you're in the same spot. And then if you go again, it again feels like you're at the same spot. Feels like you're at the same spot, but you're not, obviously. It's not a circle, it's a snail. Two things come from this. The first thing is that when you end up repeating something or it feels like you're repeating something, you're not the same person that you were when you encountered it before. So if it's a toxic dynamic or relationship, if it's a bad job, career wise or situation, if it's a financial jam, all these things that I've experienced way more times I'd like to admit. And if you're an adult, you probably experienced it many times too, no matter how much hard we try or how much we're going through stuff. But each time you're actually gathering more information. That doesn't mean that things are going to change. It just means you have more information. Therefore, you're able to build in a different type of way. So first of all, you are the one that's different. The second part is that the situation itself is different. If you're in a toxic relationship, again, it could be personal, it could be work wise, whatever, toxic friendship, had all three. So I got you. I know where you're coming from in those situations. And then that ends up ending, or you end it, or situations change. And you have been in the same situation, you're not going to be exactly the same. Even if you're more angry the next time, even if you're more frustrated, you're still not going to be the same person. It's literally impossible. Scientifically, you are a different person when you encounter something again. So then that's our infinite life. Encountering these different things, experiencing these different things. And then suddenly we wake up one day or we have one moment where we know another path we can take. So then, even though we still might be in that snail circle, we know exactly how to deal with it. But that takes time. In fact, perhaps that'll be the third element of the snail idea is that snails are not in a rush. If you have time, look up the unstoppable snail meme. and you'll understand how powerful snails are. I talk about that more in the newsletter, and it applies to things today as far as being prepared for success isn't a matter of you being a quote unquote failure now and then being successful tomorrow. It's a matter of you learning as much as you can as you go through this snail space and pace. And as you learn that, and suddenly you become quote unquote successful and becomes a different level.